1, 2, 3. Got that right? Oh. We should get rid of your amp and go with something like this instead. Let's go. Ooh, look at that sweet transition. All right, everybody, welcome back. So for our regular viewers, if you are wondering why this is not a regular music video, don't worry. Next video it will be. We're just gonna try something a little bit different, because why not? So here we have the AMT P2, and it's essentially the core of this tutorial. It is a lifesaver, and Richard will tell you more about it.
AMT is a Russian guitar company that makes various guitar products. The one that I have is actually the AMT Legacy series. I actually own 2 of these pedals. I have, this one is actually the P2, based off the PV5150. The cool thing about these pedals is that they're very, very versatile. It's got 2 channels. The clean, it doesn't actually have any EQ, but it does have this little button here, so it's a mid boost really. And then for the OD, you have the overdrive, you have 3-band EQ, gain level, very important here, and then the OD level itself. Aside from that there's 3 different outputs on this pedal. Preamp out, drive out. The bottom one, which I use the most, is the cab sim, and you could use all 3 at the same time. I use this live on my board, going from the cab sim out into a radial DI, going straight into the system. So if you were to look at my rig, this pedal is the amp, it is the rig.
So essentially all you need to make this ampless rig is this right here, the AMT P2. This is gonna cost you about $170 new. You can easily find it for about $100 used. The last thing you're gonna need is a DI. Now you don't exactly need a DI, it just kind of helps you seem a little bit more professional when you go on stage and you tell the sound guy, all I need is an XLR cable. Now full disclosure, this video isn't sponsored by AMT at all, we just like the product. So, let's see how it sounds like.
But before we begin, we need to put on the all-important wristband. Of course not sponsored by AMG, of course. Not sponsored by AMG. So that's that. But this tone, it's missing something. You know, it's like, it needs to, it added some balls. I don't know, something. Woo! Driving, going somewhere.
World famous.
Gotta get that hazelnut.
Milk tea makes everything better. Was this the balls you were missing? Alright, so let's talk a little about who this pedal is actually for. This is someone who in a sense wants a nice compact solution to what it is their amp setup is. Because a lot of times you don't have a lot of space on stage, or sometimes you just want to just simplify your rig in a live setting. And this is kind of what this pedal is for.
The biggest pro of it is the portability and the convenience of it. But if you're expecting, you know, $3,000 Kemper or Axe FX tone, probably not there. But if you're, you know, realistic with what you have and what you're going for, this pedal will work out perfectly. Now there are a few downsides. The biggest one is like the clean channel. There's no EQ on it aside from the button. Luckily for me, the sound is right where I want it, so it's great. And the limitation is in a live setting with us, is someone else who might try that out, might not like the sound that you get, and because it's straight in, there's no mic placement to change. There's nothing like that. The sound kind of is what it is, and you have the EQ at hand to change.
Something we forgot to mention earlier is that this whole idea of ours will only really work if you have an appropriate monitoring situation, such as wedges on stage or some sort of in-ear monitoring system. And I'm not talking about you relying on someone else's amp as a monitor, because that's going to make you lazy. Now, on the contrary, one of the biggest reasons to go ampless in general is that there isn't going to be any stage bleed, and that just makes everyone's lives a little bit easier. Or at least the sound guy and me, because Richard's pretty loud otherwise. All right, guys, I hope you guys like that. As you can see, there's various different uses. We use it for recording sometimes. We obviously use it as a live rig. And if you want to hear how this sounds like in a mix, go ahead and check out our YouTube video for the Charlie Puth cover we did not too far back. I think it's a very inexpensive option if you're looking for an ampless setup. So go ahead and like, comment, subscribe if you like what you see. However, I do have one question. Richard, why the hell are you still loading?
This is just for show. This is for the show.
For show. The ego of this guy. This video is not sponsored by Galen Kruger. Just putting it out there. But if you're listening, GK.
Stockton, local.
In Stockton, local, yeah. Go ahead and give me a call.